Okay, hello, I'm Morris, and I'm just going to demo basically, I guess it's basic strafing um, for just like a for this setup because I if you recall, I'd asked this question on the one of the Discord groups, and it's basically basic idea is being able to move an object based off of what it looks like its own local coordinates, so that when it's rotated, it will move in the right direction. Um, so we'll take a look at how I sort of have things set up. I guess I'm going to need a little bit of a refresher too, but okay, here I have, I'll start at the root. I got my set copper cube variables, and I have just like A and D, which just is all, because that's all I need to just set things up for moving left and right. And and then I have these variables displayed. So then here, I'll show you. So then that way I know they're working properly. And how I have them working is basically I have when A is pressed down, it'll set that to that variable to 1, and when it's released, I set it back to 0. And same thing for D. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Um, as far as my cube is concerned, I have a kind of a combo situation going on here. Um, I'm using the object or person controlled by keyboard, but I'm not using uh, well, I disabled everything except the movement speed, because I don't I don't know, I can't remember. I just tested it out and I think it makes sense, but I just realized it's not doing what I want it to do. But oh yeah, because when your object is, at least how it had appeared, when it's controlled by the keyboard, it actually rotates the object, and that's not what I want. I want my A and D keys to strafe and not spin. Um, so to compensate for that, okay, so this is basically just doing W and S motion. In here, I have an every 10 seconds, every 10 milliseconds do something. And so what I have here is a script um, that I got somewhere along the way. I don't recall who wrote it, but it's basically rotate an object using mouse. So then this way, it's doing something similar to what your player control when you like have a first person camera, that you move left and right based off of your mouse. Excuse me. So yeah, so then that way it will emulate that kind of behavior. And then I have an if variable A, so that's my A key. If my variable that I set A is set to 1, then it's gonna change position relative to another scene node. And this will become clearer when I show you um, how the setup is. So why don't we come back to this later? How my setup is, and let me see if we can see it if I go wireframe mode. So I'm going to turn my cube to a wireframe. So he's got testicles in there. So there's I have two cubes inside there. They're just set as kind of position position cubes, and this is what I found worked best with like this. Cause okay, well I'll get back to it later. So there's like a left ball and a right ball over there, and I don't think they have any behaviors at all. They just exist, and then the cone is just the nose, the pointer, and then I have just at the world origin there, these other balls. Then these are going to be um, sort of okay, yes, because these will always follow the cube, right? So wherever the cube is rotated, um, they will be orientated to the cube, and they'll follow properly. What these guys are doing is every few seconds they are going to copy the position of let's say this is the right null. It's going to copy this position. And so every 10 milliseconds, it's going to be exactly where this guy is, right? So if it's rotated, it'll be there. And same with this other ball. It's going to copy every 10 milliseconds. So saying copy from this, which is called L null A, or one of them. Either way, this is probably L null. Probably have it backwards. So this is probably, let's say this is L null A. It's going to copy its position to L null B, which is still down there at the 0, 0, 0 spot. And it's going to have like 0 offset. So it's basically going to be exactly there. And I tested it out. Like if you put it farther out, when you, like, it makes it really hard to control the speed. And it's actually weird because the farther out it is, the faster it goes. So I found this sort of nice little sweet spot that will, has a nice kind of even strafing speed. And then I realized, like, if I wanted faster, I just have to move this out a little bit more and it'll go faster. So that's how if I wanted to control that, I can do it. Excuse me. So yeah, so let's get back to the cube. Every 10 seconds it will basically, now it's going to say, okay, so this is rotating based off of the mouse. Now it's going to say now A. If A is 1, that means if A is actually being pressed, this is going to get set to 1. Change the position of this cube node to wherever that L null B, this one had 0, 0, 0, which is going to be here. So wherever it is, you're going to move in that direction wherever it is, based off of its position. And I guess that's one way you can control the speed too, I suppose. Either way, the distance from the center of the cube seemed to matter. It's just trial and error. And then it's doing the same thing for the D key. If D is 1, just, do the opposite. Go in the opposite direction based off of that object. So let's take a look-ski. Let's play it and see. So we'll see it. Oh yeah, okay. So you can see where the cube is transparent, and you can see the square. You know what? Let's make this full screen. Oh my God, my brain. Full screen. Alright, so let's go full screen here. Boom. Okay, so you can see the little square testicles are kind of going, rotating based off of their parent, which is the big cube. And these wireframe testicles are attached to their similarly named square cubes. And now, so like, when you go around, they're like exactly where they should be. They don't rotate, but they sure are in the right positions. And now, if I want to strafe, I go A, D. And no matter how I rotate it, it'll strafe in the right orientation. The only thing I noticed, and you know what, for my situation, it's fine. It would be nice if that actually worked. I can't go forward and strafe, so I have to release the strafing before I can go forward. So if I strafe, and right now I have W pressed as well, and you'll see I can't go forward unless I release the strafe. And same with going right. I have W still pressed, but I can only go forward once that's released. And same with going backwards. So if I'm going backwards and I want to strafe, it stops. It's one or the other. So yeah, I can live with that. I don't want to beat a dead horse for too long, but I think this is pretty cool. You know what? If there's any genius programmers out there who want to write a script that will let you strafe, rotate with your mouse, and strafe and move forward forward and back at the same time, that would be absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that would be strafing, moving forward at the same time while rotating with your mouse. Cool. All right. Well, I hope that was enjoyable and educational. Have a good day. Talk to you guys later. Bye.